All of what we just talked about comes together in fire planning. This is the fire plan that is written for Oak Lake Field Station that I wrote last week. And I'm not going to go through everything verbatim in here, but what it does is it outlines all of what we have been talking about. Location, communication, emergency response, how we're going to light the fire, where we're going to light fires, who's in charge, what do we need for resources, on and on. But this is the document that really enhances that. So we have to account for all of these things like an ignition plan, resource plan, maps, etc. But I want to orient you to this because that's the heart of why we're here, is to help you walk away with knowing how to do a fire plan. But on one is our general map of where this thing is in relation to the world and the major towns around it. On page 2, it kind of zooms in a little bit more. It's kind of more of like for the local fire department. Page 3 zooms in closer. You can start to see what actually the roads are right here within a mile of the station. And there's all the contact information and stuff is in there. Page 4, all the access points for emergency responders or even ourselves, how to get onto the property. Page 5, a map of escape routes and safety zones. It's a bigger area, so you can't put all of that on the map, so there's a really good description of what we're looking for. And those include all of our fire breaks, all of our roads, all of our gravel roads, things that we can go to for safety if we need to. Page 6, we deal with the requirement of knowing where our structures are. If everything really went bad here, at a minimum, we would want our volunteer fire departments to help us protect the structures on the site. 7 is surrounding land use and the homes that are around the station, of utmost importance for protection should we have a problem. And on that map, I talk about how we would normally ignite that unit and with what resources we would need to do that. The next page then shows more or less where that unit is in relation to the world of the station, so it's on the very north end. And then finally, 10 is my smoke map, which wind directions we're going to allow ourselves to burn that unit with and what we might impact with smoke. And it's got a 1 mile line and a 1/4 mile line. The 1 mile line, those folks definitely deserve some notification that we're going to be putting smoke in the air. But the 1/4 mile line, that's where we have to make a decision of whether our fire is actually appropriate or not, in the sense that, is it fair, if we don't get good lift, as we start a test fire, if there's indicators that we're going to be putting a bunch of smoke on those homes or those people, we may not need to think twice about continuing with that burn. So that's kind of the real general run through on the burn plans.